Hello and welcome back to another episode of WYG Football. You may be thinking why JP's not talking. JP, do you wanna first explain why you're not hosting today's show?
Yes, I can. So my laptop has gone into some difficulties over the past 24 hours.
Oh no.
And I am on the show via an iPad today while I get a new one, which should be arriving tomorrow. And that is why you are taking charge for the show today.
Why did it break though, JP? Why did it break?
Many different complications.
Was it the tears?
I guess probably to follow your agenda, then yes, there was many tears.
I think we'll get onto that in a minute, but it's a great game for JP to be on the panel. We're also joined by Tyrese, Arsenal fan, and Reese, Spurs fan. There's only one place to start, really, and it's in North London at the Emirates Stadium as Arsenal beat Chelsea 2-1, thanks to goals from William Saliba and Jurriën Timber. Now, this puts Arsenal, I think, 4 points clear of the table. Is that right, Tyrese? At the top?
That is, I think it's 2 points at the moment, isn't it?
Is it 4 points, I think? Well, City do have a game in hand. We do know that. But how important was that to get over the line at the end? It was a very, very sort of tense way to finish the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, important to get the 3 points. I didn't really care how we won the game. Obviously, I absolutely shit myself for a moment at the end when I thought the goal was onside, but it wasn't. So thank goodness for that. Thank goodness the other JP didn't score. That was good. But it's just important. It's one of those games you just grind it out. You grind it out. We didn't play fantastic, but we deserved the win for the most part. And just need the 3 points. And the set piece is 1 point. This is why he has a bonus in his contract. This is why Nicolas Jova has a bonus in his contract. Every set piece, he gets paid.
Set piece again.
As he should. Because our set pieces were fantastic. Saliba with his first goal of the season. Gabby was brilliant again. Timber was brilliant again. The whole defence was brilliant. Just didn't have that attacking nous for the game. But, we don't need to score from just our front three. We have our centre-backs. We have our midfielders. We can score from anywhere on the pitch with any player. So we got over the line, deserved the win, and Rosenior is still chasing his first result against Arsenal, and he's going to be waiting a very long time, because that man just doesn't get it yet. You would have thought after 2 losses he might have a tactic going into this game, but his tactic is take his glasses off until half time, then put him on for the second half. Normally his tactic. Apart from that, he hasn't really got a clue when it comes to us.
No, he definitely doesn't. I do want to allude to one player for Arsenal, David Raya. He made some incredible, fantastic performance to keep Arsenal with the 3 points, ending up with the 3 points at the end of the game. Just how impressive has he been, not just yesterday, but throughout the whole season?
Yeah, really, really fantastic goalkeeper. Such an upgrade from Ramsdale. Everyone thought when we got to Ramsdale, this bad decision, because Ramsdale was he was at the peak of his career, but bringing Raya in has been revolutionary. He's great with his feet, great shot stopper, and he's cemented himself top 3 goalkeepers in the world, I think, alongside Alisson and Courtois. I think he's and both on a rumour, top 4, cemented himself in the top 4 goalkeepers in the world, because he's a reason why if we win the league this season, he's a reason why we do it. He's top 3 most important players. He gets injured, then a lot will go wrong, because Kepa, I mean, we all know Kepa's not to be trusted, most certainly not to be trusted in goal. So if Raya gets injured, it will impact it a lot. So I'm happy we have arguably the second or first best keeper in the league.
Another howling moment, I think. He's had many of those this season in the Chelsea net. I think. Do you guys understand? JP, do you understand what he was appealing for, and what does he have to do better in that situation?
I mean, I really didn't want to have to talk about this game, but here we are speaking about Chelsea losing to Arsenal. But no, to answer your question, Robert Sanchez, he literally from the minute the match kicked off, he was very all over the place. It got to the point where defenders were passing the ball back to him, and then he was inviting pressure from the Arsenal players, nearly lost it on 2 occasions even. And this was in the 15th or 10th minute. So from that point onwards, I was thinking, okay, we're in for a long afternoon here. But the second goal, he was appealing that he was apparently held by another Arsenal player while Timber was obviously heading in the second to make it 2-1. And he just couldn't be more wrong. Like literally, the replay after he tried to dive to get to the ball, he missed the ball and he fell to the ground, and he tried to claim that an Arsenal player went into him. And like you said, you look on the other side of the pitch, and then you see David Raya, another Spanish goalkeeper who should realistically probably be Spain's number one goalkeeper at the World Cup this year. And then we've got our Spanish goalkeeper, who's probably struggle to even make the under-21 Spain's team, even though he's probably too old right now. But no, Robert Sanchez, he's, this has been nearly the past 2 seasons now with him. Like, his mistakes, he had a bit of a good form early on the season, to be fair to him, but now he's just back to default settings, really. And I don't know, because obviously we can't, get a new goalkeeper right now straight away. We can maybe bench him, but then the goalkeeper second in line, Philip Jorgensen, he's no better. So we're going to have to stick with Robert Sanchez for the remainder of the season, going into the Champions League matches against PSG as well, which should be...
well, luckily their keeper's not much better.
Yeah, but I don't know. Robert Sanchez, this season could be, or probably should be, his last season at Chelsea.
I mean, it's another red card for Chelsea in a situation where one goal behind, you just concede to a set piece, but you're definitely in the game. I thought Chelsea played relatively well throughout. How costly a bit have red cards been for your season and in games like that?
No, look, it's the story of our season. Like, in recent times, I've been calling Chelsea Red Card Football Club, because it's really every game or nearly every other match is a second yellow or a straight red card. And us as fans, we're getting frustrated, because if you take the Chelsea-Arsenal game, for example, Neto, the first yellow card was for dissent when he was trying to defend Robert Sanchez's baseless claim that he was fouled for the Timber goal. That's where he got his first yellow. And then minutes later, maybe like 2-3 minutes after we kicked off again and Martinelli was running down the wing, he obviously tackled Martinelli, and he knew he'd been booked at that point, but he decided to go for it anyway, got the red card, and then we're down to 10. But yeah, I think somebody online done a tally, so we're up to 7 red cards in the Premier League and 9 across all competitions.
No, 10 actually, because your manager got sent off before he got sent.
Oh yeah, manager as well, yeah. But no, it's really bad, because 2 more red cards, and then it will be a full 11. It'll be a full 11 players that have been sent off this season. And you're just thinking, because, it's basic, really. Like, I guess when you make a late challenge and it's like two-footed, you can't avoid a red card, that's fair enough. But the red cards we've been getting have not been any of that like. Like, for instance, against Burnley, Fofana was a second yellow. It was just late tackle, not even two-footed, just he got sent off. And then you have, even the first Chelsea-Arsenal game, Caicedo on Marino. And like this season, I don't know what mentality is being instilled into these players, because it was a problem under Maresca as well. And it's tough, because we're going to go play against Aston Villa now in midweek on Wednesday, and I don't know where we go, because obviously the only thing we can do is, like, Neto's got a suspension, I think, for 2 or 3 games, maybe 1 match now, and Esteval is still injured, so we don't have a winger. Fofana is still suspended from his red card from Burnley. And yeah, it's difficult, because especially going into Champions League in a week's time against PSG, if we get red cards in that match too, then we'll be light for the second leg of the round of 16. Garnacho, yeah, but then what happens if Garnacho gets sent off?
Well, Tom would say. Tom would say in this situation, you need Wilson Odobert. That's what Tom would say.
We talk about Chelsea, and we talk about Arsenal in the title race, and we talk about Chelsea in a top 5 race for Champions League places. Yeah. Could this be one of the final daggers to their hopes? Now 3 points behind Liverpool and Man United.
Well, look, I think it's still a yes. We lost against Arsenal. I mean, we were always expected to lose that match anyway, in some way or another. But yeah, even the week before, the Burnley game, that was massive. We really should have won that. Again, the red card costing us. But going into the future games now, we got some hope in the form that Wolves beat Aston Villa on Friday night, so that could be something that we could hope on. But Aston Villa are still a good team, and they play well against Chelsea anyway. But the top four, top five race, yeah, I don't know, because we've got a bit of a difficult run coming up. We've got obviously Newcastle to play. We still got Man City to play, Liverpool to play, and some of the relegation teams as well. Fighting for their lives, including Tottenham. And
Cheers for that. Cheers for that.
Oh dear. So I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting end to the season. We're still in the Champions League, even though we've got a very difficult run to the final. Well, we could end up playing Arsenal. You never know in the Champions League final.
I mean, please, I would love to have you lot on the two legs. It would just be another 2 easy wins.
We were talking before we recorded the show about the news that PSG, between their legs against Chelsea, have cancelled their Ligue 1 game.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on that?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, it's corruption, isn't it? PSG.
It's a disgrace.
PSG.
Disgrace.
It is.
It's a disgrace.
It's a massive disgrace because they requested to the obviously the League One authorities that their game against Nantes to be postponed so they can prepare for the Chelsea game, and they had their application approved. The French were like saying, yeah, it's fine, we can reschedule the game for another time.
Could you imagine that, boys, in the UK?
Yeah.
It would never happen.
If that happened to a team, if that happened to Liverpool and didn't happen to Arsenal, Arteta is a disgrace. Yeah, is a disgrace. He'd be livid, mate. He would be livid.
No, because I mean, that, like I said before we went live, that's going to be a very difficult week for us because in between PSG, we're playing Newcastle, and like you said, we're in this hunt for top four or top five Champions League spots, and then we got so much FA Cup against Wrexham away, which could be a difficult match as well. So, this whole PSG stuff, I wish it never happened, but we're gonna have to deal with it one way or another. Playing a fresh PSG team across 2 weeks, and I can only hope for the best. I mean, like if this was to happen in the Premier League, there'd be talk about all over Sky Sports News, over everywhere. But no, it is what it is. This is what the football world we live in now.
It's a shame that they have to. The league has to operate like that with PSG and over in France. You weren't playing your best football, but you managed to get over the line. Games like that, where you get over the line in those circumstances against big rivals, how much does that boost your confidence for your title hopes?
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive. Getting those important wins that when you don't play well, but you still manage to get over the line. That's what wins you the league titles. Not the 4 and 5 nils that you're expected to do. It's the wins. It's the 1-0s, the 2-1s, the 3-2s. It's those games where you're constantly on the edge, but you still manage to get the result you need. Those type of games, they win you the league. And, playing against a big side, average size team like Chelsea, obviously you're expected to have a kind of difficult game, but you're expected to get the 3 points at home. And we made it difficult. We made it more difficult than it had to be, but got over the line and got the one of the most important wins of the season. That you look back on it and think, if we had drawn that game, league's gone. In my opinion, we draw that game, league's done. But we won it. Momentum, confidence up. We're on a roll.
How did you find your Champions League drawings with Arsenal getting Leverkusen and Tottenham getting Atletico Madrid? Reece, we'll start with you.
Listen, I mean, it's one of them. It's a competition. It's like, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. We're on the nicer side of the draw. I mean, if we somehow have the miracle of beating Atletico, then it's Newcastle or Barca. which for me, I'd much rather have Barcelona and have a lovely away day. But listen, I'm not expecting much from the Atletico game. If I'm getting the time off work, I'm gonna have a great time in Madrid. But it's once the football, it's like every game. It's all good beforehand. Football starts, and it's the same old every week.
Ty, what about you for the Leverkusen? How are you feeling about Leverkusen?
Yeah, pretty confident. I mean, I don't know how they're doing in the league. I don't often check on the Bundesliga, but it doesn't really matter for me where they are. I don't care if they're third, second, 17th. Doesn't really matter. But we're going to Leverkusen.
Currently sixth, actually. So not doing too well in the Bundesliga.
Not as well as last couple of seasons under Xabi, but I think we got the away leg first. Is that right?
Yes.
Which makes it even more fun. So even if we go away and don't play our best football and end up only getting a draw, we come back to the Emirates, we dominate them. That's what we'll always do, and and then in the next round after that, we've got another favourable draw.
Well, it's the mighty Bodo.
Yeah, it's the Bodo, or I can't remember. I've never seen
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting,
That's it, Bodo or Sporting Lisbon. So if we get Bodo, I mean, we're not. I know Bodo are made out to be this hard best things to slice bread. Bodo are really, they're not that good. People need to get in their head. Bodo are not that good. They went away to a Milan team that is poor, a poor Milan team that we played off the park with their really average manager. I don't know how he got the job. He hasn't got the qualifications for it. And obviously Bodo won. I mean, it wasn't that a surprising result because that Inter Milan team are not very good. But yeah, I'm expecting us to easily cruise to the semi-final, and then that's when we get the big boys. That's when we get the big boy teams like Spurs. Hopefully,
so you get Tottenham in the semis.
Spurs in the final as well. That'd be just fantastic, wouldn't it?
No, we play you semis.
Oh, playing semis. Well, it'd be fantastic to meet Spurs in the semis, but obviously they're playing against Atletico, the same Atletico who beat Barca 4-0 a couple weeks ago. So,
All right, so by that logic, we beat Atletico, we beat Barca.
Reece, you said you'd rather Barca, but I think Barcelona would rather a relegation struggler than Atletico Madrid as well.
That's fine. Let's have it.
It's safe to say it wasn't plain sailing by the River Thames for Tottenham. A 2-1 loss at Craven Cottage, thanks to goals from Harry Wilson and Alex Iwobi. I'm struggling to put into words now the state of this Tottenham team. Reece, could you try for me? I mean, what is going on? What is going on to the Spurs side?
Well, it's a big combination of just years of neglect from the owners, and now we're in a position of we go down, we're in even more trouble because of all the money we're going to lose. We already have enough debt from the stadium and all that. Now it's a matter of if we go down, we lose so much more, and who knows what happens then. But for me, the current side, I mean, we've brought in Tudor. I've seen a thing today that if we lose to Palace, he might get sacked. I'm not going to put it all on him. He doesn't help himself by playing people out of position. Like, you've got... Listen, I know Sousa's 19, but he is a left-back. Just play him there. Playing Archie Gray or Gallagher right wing-back is never going to solve any problems. Like, you just play people in their positions and then you can hope for the best. But the players look defeated. They've already accepted that we're going down. I mean, every week.
That's just so sad. Yeah, but it's so sad because this is a big.
No. You look so sad about it.
For you, Reece, this is a Premier League established club, and we're talking, and you seem adamant that you're going down.
Last year I had the highest of all highs. Celebrating the Europa League win was literally the best day of my life. I couldn't believe it. And now fast forward a year, and I'm going to be seeing Arsenal win a Premier League trophy and watch my side go down.
Where has it gone wrong? I mean, you started the season with, you had that incredible Super Cup game, an incredible football performance against PSG.
Even though they lost.
Cheers, mate.
Yep. You had a rocky start to the season, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, I will say, and I'm going to ask if you agree with me or not. I think one of Tottenham's biggest problems this season has been their ability to lose games early on. so easily. I mean, you see Harry Wilson's goal, which again was controversial, which I'm going to ask you again after this first question. This is like it's a double parter now. It's turned into a double parter thanks to me. And then the great finish from Alex Iwobi. But that's been one of your biggest problems, hasn't it? The fact that you're losing games before you can come back.
Yeah, that is it. Shit, it's so many times we'll start a game poorly, and then I mean the prime one is it seems every time we play Aston Villa, it seems to be the same thing most of the time at home as well. We'll have the world's worst first half, and then give it a go in the second half, and I just don't understand it. Especially now back into the season. Yes, okay, we're awful at the moment. We're not playing well. Nothing's going our way. We'll talk about the decisions later, but it is us against everyone now. Like nothing is going our way. Not like it actually looks
Tottenham
like
against the world. Tottenham against
no,
the
but
world.
that is it's what it is. Like people are laughing about Spurs going down. They want it to happen. Like these officials are letting it happen as well. Like they're not even giving him a chance now, and we can only do what they got to do. It's just the players have to show some fight. There's never fight shown.
Reese,
now,
can you give us a dance if you've won in 2026?
well, I won in
A
Champions
Premier
League.
League.
I'll be staying sat down then. It's just like it's every game that the fans are always up for it. Like especially away, our away sport is so good, and it's even Sunday being there. It was just like we're so ready for it, and like the fans don't deserve what we're seeing. It's we were seeing about like the players not fit to wear the shirt, and they're not. These players are not showing fight. And we've got the injuries and Romero's out suspended and all that, but we have to make the most of it, and if we want to stay in this league, we have to fight for it, and that is it.
And what do you make of the allegations from Igor Tudor towards the referee at the end of the game? Is that the way you want your manager to be reacting after a poor performance?
Oh, and he's not wrong. Like it's a cheap argument after a loss, but how many times have we seen Spurs get screwed over by the ref this season? And it's becoming a weekly thing because we'll suffer, and then in the same day, the same thing will happen, and it'll be the opposite way. And it's just for us fans, we know how this story goes now. I think a lot of our fan base has accepted that it's just going to go the way we don't want it to go. But who knows? Like football is corrupt these days, but whoever's put a hex on Spurs at the moment is this a signing a dangerous deal with the devil, and we're going to suffer. I do think officials are more lenient to the other clubs. I think they're kind of banking on Tottenham are too big to go down, so these little decisions or these off chance decisions, giving it the opposite way, won't affect Spurs. It's going to send us down. The Gabriel goal, that's a prime example. Top of the league tax.
That was a fair goal. That was a fair goal. He got fouled.
Oh, shut up, man.
He got fouled.
Shut up. We're doing this. And then an actual push on our centre-back wasn't given.
Never a push.
So, Reece, I believe we're alluding to the incident for the Harry Wilson goal where Harry Wilson pushed into the back. Who was it? Which centre-back?
Dragusin.
Pushed into the back, Dragusin. And there was a pretty hefty VAR check, and it was deemed to be a goal. Reece, I want your opinion on this because, as you mentioned, this was a very similar situation with Gabriel for the disallowed goal in the North London derby. I mean, what's your initial opinion on it?
Well, listen, it's very simple. They need to be clarifying what a foul is because, 1 week they've got someone who's fending off, not even pushing. He's got one arm extended to get a bit of momentum, and that's being called a push. And then we've got two hands on the back, elbows bent, then extending wasn't a push. So, listen, at the end of the day, they're seeing the badge and going, yeah, we'll decide that. But it's just, I expect it every week. Like, we're going to play Palace Thursday. I thought we was going to win, and then I remember Johnson plays for him, so he's obviously going to score.
And you remembered you're at home.
Well, yeah, there is that. But to be fair, we lose home and away now, so it doesn't really matter. Listen, we're going to lose Palace on Thursday. I'm expecting either us not giving a penalty or their goal just be something dodgy. I'm expecting it now. It always tends to be the same. So.
And JP, I'm going to turn it over to you because Tyrese, I know what Tyrese is going to say in the corner over there. It's such a massive decision, especially now looking at it for Tottenham's season. What are your thoughts on the decision?
No, I think Reece highlighted it very well. It's just a massive inconsistency because in the North London derby, I would agree with him. Kolo Muani's goal should have stood. There was barely a push.
Gabby looked like Gabby could have been killed. He could have been killed, mate. He could have been killed.
It was a barely a push from Gabriel, and then that got disallowed. And then now, fast forward a week later, obviously the push on Dragusin, Harry Wilson scored. That wasn't a foul, but this has been an ongoing thing in the Premier League anyway. Because when obviously the North London derby incident happened on Match of the Day, they were dragging it back to when Manchester United played against Leeds, and I think as Lenny Euro, he scored a goal, and he pushed. No, it wasn't Leeds. Fulham, sorry. Against Fulham, he pushed Calvin Bassey. And then VAR looked at that one and said that wasn't a foul either, and Euro got his goal. So it's just a huge inconsistency. I think those decisions will cost Tottenham a lot this season, other than them actually, playing good football and trying to win matches. But no, it really needs to be sorted out, because this is why we're getting a lot of reaction online. They do this, the VAR show, Ref Watch, with Dermot Gallagher, where they go through all the decisions, which is all good stuff, but, nothing's really going to change. Like, Dermot Gallagher can say, yeah, the referee made a mistake there, but they're not going to rewind the match and then, resend the decision. So it really needs to be sorted out, because we're supposed to be the best league in the world, and yet we've got very incompetent referees that just get these basic decisions wrong, which, I mean, if we were to get the Champions League referees over into the Premier League, then maybe we could see a better standard of officiating. But no, we don't. So we just have to, I don't know, whether it's more training with VAR, whether it's another revamp of the rule book that gets constantly changed week after week, then I don't know. But yeah, all in all, yeah, I think Harry Wilson, that goal really should have been, disallowed, really. But it is what it is. I guess Reece was kind of expecting it anyway. As soon as it went to VAR, he saw, club badge thingy, Tottenham are playing. It's going to go against them. So, yeah, it is what it is. Every single week we're going to have a decision to talk about, and that happened to be the latest one. So, yeah.
Apart from Arsenal, all the teams have got 10 games left in the season.
Yeah.
One word answer: do Tottenham go down? I'm going to start, and I'm going to say no. I don't think they go down. Tyrese, what do you think?
Of course.
Of course. That's an adamant.
I'm so confident.
Why are you so confident?
Because West Ham have at least 3 more wins left in them. I've checked their schedule. They've got at least 3 more wins left in them. They've got 3 home games: Wolves, Everton, and 1 more average team.
You're going to lose on purpose and send us down.
You know what? Well, only if it didn't cost us a league.
No, I think you're going to win it early.
If we win it early, I would. If I'm Arteta, I'm putting out the 18s and saying have a kick about. If you lose, in fact, I'm saying have a kick about, and you know what? Don't try win the game. Just have a bit of fun. That's what I'm saying to. As long as the league's wrapped up, I'm doing the type of shit Pep would do, trying to play Neuer in midfield. Like, you might as well be on some joke stuff and some pranking stuff. You might as well. But West Ham have a more favourable schedule. Forest have a couple more wins left in them. Especially, they have a guaranteed win at the Hotspur Stadium.
I think Forest are playing some really good football as well at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They're just getting unlucky with the results. So Spurs have the worst schedule. They have a manager who can't keep a club for longer than a couple of weeks. Players look defeated. Obviously, they're missing the best centre-back of all time at the moment. So that's not helping them, is it? So I think they go down.
What about you, JP? What do you think?
Well, I would love to say yes, but I think Tottenham will survive just about by maybe a point or two. Because I just think, West Ham are still down there, Forest is still down there, Burnley, who we'll probably talk about later, they're still down there as well. I think Tottenham should realistically be okay, but I think, Chelsea do have a big part to play in this because we play Tottenham late April, which is not too far away from the end of the season.
And we
Guaranteed
play,
win
we
there.
play, we
Yeah.
play Tottenham as well.
So if Tottenham continue to play as bad as they are at the moment, we could be the ones that eventually send them down. So that could happen. But no, I think, Tottenham, realistically, I think they will survive. Just about, though. It'll be close. It'll be similar to last season, where they finished a space
No,
above
last season they were never.
No, last season we were never in danger. We were so far ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no danger.
I just think, just about they'll survive, but Chelsea do have a very big part to play in all of that happening, so yeah.
Reece, you seem convinced that Spurs are going down. All joking aside, this is a team 10 years ago that, would look destined to win the league if Leicester weren't going to win it. One of the most exciting teams in the Premier League, Champions League finalists, Europa League winners. I mean, what would it mean not only for the club, but you as a fan to watch Spurs go down?
Oh, listen, there's nothing more painful than that. No, it's you pay all the money, you go week in, week out to see a lot of shit, and then all for it to actually end in relegation is just it will break your heart. Or it'll break my heart. But listen, I'm still going to be there next year, even if it's Lincoln at home, Oxford away. It sounds mental to say, but listen, for the real fans, we can handle it, and we're still going to be showing our sport every week. But
the real fans, meaning about 1/10 of the stadium is going to be full. The rest of them,
I think Spurs will still get a good following. But let's be honest, us three are all laughing. But this is something we've never had to face, and I think it's, if my club Liverpool were in that situation, I'd be concerned as well.
Yeah, it is definitely concerning. It's just, I see all this stuff about people going, boycott one of the games. Now is not a time to boycott and protest.
Oh, it definitely is.
No, it's not.
I disagree. I think
we need to stay in the league.
You need to be.
No, this is too big
despite
now.
How bad they are, you need to get.
They need to kick up.
Earlier on in the season, I'd be like, yeah, okay, we can protest, but now is not a time to actually do a whole stadium boycott. We need to support the team. The team are bad enough as it is. They need all the support they can get.
No, because I'd say I was out here calling for support after the Wolves draw because us fans lost our shit. Like on AFTV, mate, they were losing it, and as they should. And Arteta's had to come out.
You're a privileged club.
We're top of the league, and our fans were livid after that Wolves draw, and as we should be. If my club was in 17th, I expect to see Turkish protesting. I expect to see all these fans.
You have to get behind the team.
Super League. I expect it to be like the Super League protest. Because
you won't know because you'll never be in this position. It is a matter of relegation. It's not even us fans actually know that we genuinely probably will go down. We have to fight to stay in this league, and it's so serious now for us. Earlier in the season, we make jokes about it, we're so bad we might go down. We've got 10 games, or maybe 11 games, whatever it is, to turn this
10 games left.
We've got 10 games, and I'm looking at them going, I don't know if we do it.
Just as a reminder for anyone, just as a reminder of your fixtures, you've got Crystal Palace, Liverpool away, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland away, Brighton, Wolves away, Aston Villa away, Leeds at home.
Well, maybe
Chelsea, and you end the season what could be a massive game against Everton.
Yeah,
away
at home.
No, home.
That could be a massive game in not only Tottenham's season but their history.
Yeah, this is. There was only one other time Spurs have been this close to relegation, and that was about 30 years ago. And we're the striker that would score a load of goals.
I thought you were going to say that was last season.
No, we've said last year. But it's scary times. It is very scary times for Spurs, and yeah, just got to get behind the team and hope for the best.
Get
Like
your
if
banners out, mate.
if the
Get
right
the
players
banners
come
out.
back, huh?
Get the banners out, mate. Get the
Ain't gonna
banners out.
do
You need to
nothing.
be like the Wenger Out Brigade.
Like if the right players come back, we can we stay up. But that's if and when. Like I don't know what's happening with our injuries. Like Kulusevski, who knows when he's back.
Yeah.
I mean, Kudus is meant to be soon. I'm not sure. Danso's just come back, which will help us in the long run. But Barrow's suspension's over soon, so maybe it will start to look a little bit more positive. But like I said, we just got to hope for the best.
The impressive run for Michael Carrick continues, a 2-1 win thanks to a Bruno Fernandes penalty and a Benjamin Sesko goal. He's now scored 6 in 7 games for Manchester United as they beat
wow.
1-0. JP, you're in the different chair today, so I'm going to come to you for this one first.
Yes.
Manchester United have been impressive. Benjamin Sesko as well. I'm going to focus in on Sesko. How does this change your perception on his sort of? Does this change your ranking as one of the new signings coming in this season?
Well, I would say with Sesko, I think he's definitely coming to form at the right time for United. You know, United have now, this new manager bounce has been going on for a very long time now with Michael Carrick. And Sesko, yeah, he's finally proving that he's very capable of doing a job for United. Obviously, early on in the season when he wasn't scoring, obviously the critics were aiming for him left, right, and centre, and rightly so. But then you could say, for example, the same for the likes of Gyökeres, for example. Now he's
world class number 9. World class number 9.
Now he's showing his best form for Arsenal right at a time when they need it, for this title push. And United, they're going for to return to Champions League football. They want to finish in the top 4. And Sesko scoring all of these goals, it's only a boost for them. So fair play to him. I think he's now I wouldn't say he's cemented his starting position just yet, because you never know, this form could end this week or next. And he's one of the players where I think he just needs to keep going, because my worry with Sesko is that if he does flatline and he does stop scoring again, then United might go back into the market to find his replacement. So I think with Sesko, yeah, he just needs to keep scoring. And if United, qualify for Champions League football next season, which looks like very likely at this moment, then it can only be a good thing. And I guess it will also be very good news for the United strand. He's been waiting for
a long time for that haircut.
For 5 matches in a row. But I think United are very inconsistent anyway, so that could be around 2 or 3 years before he can get a haircut.
Maxence Lacroix opening the scoring for Crystal Palace, but then also getting sent off. This wasn't the only decision that went into Manchester United's favour. I don't know if you three have seen the penalty that was given for Manchester United at the weekend.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it now.
JP, if you could just talk us through it, and probably even somehow worse than the Tottenham decision.
It was, like earlier on I said about, the inconsistencies with VAR and officiating in total. So when you guys do get a chance to see it, basically, it was Matheus Cunha, was it, at the edge of the box?
Yeah.
Yes. And Lacroix basically literally patted his shoulder. Cunha felt the contact and dived to make it look like a penalty. The referee fell for it. Even VAR fell for it, which is even crazier because they probably watch it for like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. You know how long they take to check decisions nowadays. And they decided it was a penalty. Crystal Palace were hard done by. Crystal Palace.
JP, was it as bad as the foul on Gabby against Spurs?
I would say probably worse, actually. Cause
it is really bad. It is
because there was literally no contact at all. Literally, like I said, maybe even less than a pat on the shoulder.
But I think there was an argument as well that the contact actually started outside the box as well.
Yes, there was that.
There was an argument for that. So I think there was multiple reasons why this definitely wasn't a penalty, but still managed to give it. Reece, if you were in Manchester United's shoes, would you keep Michael Carrick onto the next season and into the future?
Yeah, I think at the rate they're going, they're going to be finishing third in the league, and they're playing good football. I mean, for me, it was the appointment or like, the change of the manager was needed. I don't think it was needed as much as people made out. Like, yes, they're third right now, but they weren't far off. They're third on goal difference.
Are they?
Yeah, they're ahead of us.
I only saw it today.
Wow, wow.
Oh, they're ahead of us. Sorry, Aston Villa and then Liverpool in fifth. Currently,
Yeah,
Champions League.
I mean, United with Amorim weren't that far off top four anyway. They've got a good quality side. Like, that is a fact. And with good quality players, you naturally win games. It's just they've brought in a manager now that's given them that extra bit of belief. And it's just that confidence. This is a side that's playing with great confidence, and they're reaping the rewards of it. You know, they've all got good chemistry together. Then there's a lot of players that like to play a similar style of football. You know, Bruno Fernandes you've got a world-class player in your team, and as good as Bruno is, he's always in the right position, and he's always going to... With Bruno, you're naturally going to score. Like, you could have almost anyone up front for them, and they're going to get enough chances to score goals. This United side, listen, one of my mates is United. He said about them winning the league in the next couple of years. That their defence isn't good enough to do that.
Mate, give it Carricky. Give it Carricky and he will win the league. Give it Carricky, mate.
But listen, I do like... I'm a big fan of Michael Carrick anyway. I mean, for me, it was earlier in the season, before he went to United, if it was a situation of he was still available at the end of the season, that is something I would have wanted Spurs to look at. No, but I knew he was playing good football, but now it's just a matter of...
He's past that now. He's past the Spurs level.
United have got him, and they've got... Listen, if they're gonna keep him on, they have to back him. And that's this year. There is a good base. He's got a great starting 11. Can the United actually build on this now? Can the owners for United build on this? And listen, getting Champions League football, being as big as Man United are anyway, you're going to attract a lot better players. They've just got to be sensible with their summer now. It's all about managing the transfers correctly. They don't want to go get some arrogant superstar that's going to ruin that positive vibe in the ground straight away. Listen, we've seen this a lot with United, and when you're a big club like that, you're never going to really struggle. Yes, they finished 16th last year, but they was always going to bounce straight back.
You mentioned the bounce back, and they were in a similar position than you were last season, and obviously one team's gone like this and the other team's gone like that. Would you say the transfers have made the biggest part, the new signings that Manchester United have brought in compared to what Spurs have brought in?
For sure. Like, United knew what they needed, and they got it done straight away. You know, we looked at Mbeumo, but we were trying to hassle for so long. United just went, yeah, we'll go get him right now. You know, if you can spot a player that you know is going to help your team, you have to act fast. And United have done that. They got Cunha straight away. No messing around. They were getting Cunha before the window even opened, I'm pretty sure. And it's just like, this is how the top sides really act. You just have to act fast.
Do you not think you brought in some good players? Do you not? I mean, Xavi Simons, the man who's obviously better than Eze. Mohamed Kudus, good player. I know Gallagher was brought in January, but on paper, good player. Tell, on paper, good player. Danso, good player. You know,
yeah, Danso was from the season before.
Okay, you not made some good signings in the summer.
But we lost out on a lot of signings. That was it, and that tends to be it for us.
I think you lost out. I think they lost out on was the game changers, like players like Mbeumo. And Mbeumo is a player that, you know, he's a privileged to have up. He's a player that, you know, changes the game, and I think Spurs just don't have the game changer.
Xavi Simons was meant to be the game changer, though.
But he just hasn't performed that way.
Xavi also has no one in front of him. He's not a goal scorer, he's a 10. Like, Mbeumo scoring 19 goals last season. Yes, we got Solanke, but he's missed out most of the season anyway because of injury. Like, yeah, listen, injuries have messed up our season on the whole. Like, everyone knows that, but it's the game changers. That is literally it. And don't get me wrong, if I had signed Mbeumo, he probably broke his leg anyway. But it's like, it's literally the game changers for us.
How big would that be, Ty, for Manchester United? Obviously, after the season they had, back qualifying for the Champions League, and what has been really an impressive season.
No, they've been actually more impressive than I thought. I knew they would come back because of Manchester United, but I thought they'd be fighting for top 6. I didn't think that they would be fighting for top 3, so it's really impressive. Under Amorim, to be fair, I think they would have slipped further and further, so it's a good job they got rid of him when they did. That manager was unacceptable. Especially, he should have got sacked after Grimsby away. But, yeah, he was really bottom of the barrel. But since bringing in Carrick, it's been pretty revolutionary. To come to the Emirates and beat us in our backyard was a statement. Fair play. Hold my hands up, and I say that was a fantastic performance from them. We just weren't at it. We couldn't match him in any way. And from that performance onwards, I knew that this Man United team was actually serious. And they've just got better and better every week. Yeah, they've dropped a point before the Palace game, dropped 2 points, but you're not going to win every single game. But for Carrick to come in and still hasn't lost a game as Manchester United manager, it's really impressive. And for them to get Champions League would mean more money, more TV money, more higher revenues, better players coming in, more attraction, back in the big time. And you never know if they back Carrick and Carrick doesn't end up like Ole, which I don't think he will, because I don't think Carrick's as much of a yes man. So yeah, if he doesn't end up like Ole, then United could be a real serious team for next year. Like seriously battling us and City for the title, and maybe Liverpool.
I don't know if any of you watched the game or watched highlights of the game. This game had it all. Brentford obviously have been one of the most informed teams this season. Scored three unanswered goals thanks to Damsgaard, Thiago and Schade. But then obviously Brentford came back into the game. Then Ashley Barnes thought he'd won it. Goal was disallowed. Then Mikael Damsgaard won the game. JP, I believe you've seen all the action there. What were your opinions on the decision that was given against Ashley Barnes in what has now been considered a massive week for VAR?
Well, look, I mean, I'm going to say this for the first time in the show. This is just a massive inconsistency in officiating in the Premier League. And like you said, that game, that match was very crazy as a start. A 7-goal thriller. Brentford being 3-0 up, you thought they were just going to go on to win the match. And then Burnley came back to 3-3. And Ashley Barnes' decision, I just didn't know what to think, to be honest. Because what was it? That match was a 3:00 kickoff anyway, so I couldn't watch it on TV. So I had to obviously watch the highlights and match today. And
or did you illegally stream it, JP?
No, I did not. No,
I illegally streamed it. My dodgy stick was going off.
No, you can't say that. You can get raided. You're gonna get raided. You can't say that.
No, sorry, it was a joke.
No, but when I did manage to see obviously what had happened and stuff, I was shocked because that is huge for Burnley season. Burnley are trying to stay in the Premier League as well. And even a point like, they could have even gone on to win the game, to be honest. There was another decision before that where it was just like a very marginable offside where they took nearly something crazy, like 4 or 5 minutes just to check if it was offside or not. Even with, the now automated offside system that they have in the Premier League, it still took that long. And then the handball, which, wasn't a handball for starters. It is, I think he hit his leg first and then up onto his torso, just round about here next to his arm. And then he obviously scored the goal. And you're thinking, okay, they spent another 5 minutes just to look at that. So the referees missed it, and even VAR, who's got multiple screens, all angles, have missed it too. And I guess Brentford were very lucky. They were very lucky that that decision saved them from embarrassment, being 3-0 up against Burnley and to nearly throw it away. But no, it was, again, inconsistency in the Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah, but games like that are the reason we love the Premier League. It
Yep.
feels like every team's in it to win it every week, every game day. Reece, I'm going to come for you for this question because you're the fellow relegation stragglers along with Burnley. Burnley are on 19 points, and if they would have won the game, they would have obviously gone up to 22 points, only 3 points off West Ham. A result like that, is that the dagger blow for their season?
I mean, you have to say yes. You have to say yes. I mean, that was every team has the chance to save their season. I feel like that probably was it. To go 3-0 down. That's terrible. Like, especially when you're already down in the dumps about how bad your season's been. To start, well, basically going in second half. Was it 3-1 half time? Was it 3-0?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0 half time.
It was either 3-0 or 3-1.
For them, they might have got
3-1. 3-1.
Is it either way? To be two or three goals down at half time when you're playing a side that are very good this year. Like, they're challenging for Europe now. Brentford might be able to nick it.
This is why they're proving that Thomas Frank is a glorified Sean Dyche. And Keith Andrews is doing that. He's proven that perfectly. I could go into Brentford tomorrow and get results. It's a perfect system. The club is so perfect that you can't fail.
Look, I mean, bringing it back to 3-3, yes, they had the chance to win the game as well. And they was so unlucky. Like, the game had so much drama. If they can pick up a result this weekend, I'm not actually sure who they're playing, but if they can pick up a result, listen, West Ham are probably going to lose this week. Spurs and Forest are most likely going to lose. So one win, they're 3 points off West Ham. They'll only be 7 behind us then, or 8. But it's one win could change their season. But I just don't see. I don't see where the goals come for Burnley. This was my thing at the start of the season. Like, even last season in the Championship, Burnley had the best defence by miles in the Championship. They were phenomenal defensively, so good. I thought going into this season they would go down purely on the fact they won't score enough goals. Obviously, I think they've shocked a lot of people by how bad they've been defensively. Well, maybe not bad, but just nowhere near as good as last year. They were solid at the back and they look confident at the back. This year, obviously, it hasn't been that. Losing Trafford doesn't help. But again, they don't score enough goals. You don't look at Burnley's side and go, there's a goal scorer in this side. And that when you're a relegation side, you need a goal scorer. That goals win you games. And that is all us, Burnley, West Ham, Forest just need goals. That is it. It's forgetting about defending now. It's just scoring.
We talk about goals, Ty. On the other side of the game, you have Igor Thiago, who's now scored his 18th goal in 28 games this season for a really impressive Brentford side. How would you rank him this season? Obviously, he's got to rank second as the striker this season, hasn't he, Igor Thiago?
He's been phenomenal. 2 goals off breaking Ivan Toney's record for the club. So yeah, he's been. But Brentford always managed to find these fantastic gems of strike. Like, they always managed to get goals. Visser got goals last year, and Bremo got. I think Bremo got 20 last year as well. And yeah, he's just been. Igor Thiago's been fantastic. He's scoring goals when they need to. But the good thing about him as a striker is Brentford don't need to rely solely on him for the goals, because the goals are coming from everywhere. The Amsgaard, midfielders, the defence. I mean, the system is perfect. It works a treat, and Keith Andrews is getting it. He's getting it right, but more importantly, the club's getting it right. The recruitment team's getting it right, and they're just there. They're constantly building, getting better and better, and won't be long until they get Europe. I reckon they will definitely They're in a great chance to get Conference League, which hopefully they do, because Brentford, good club, they definitely deserve it. But Burnley, on the other hand, Burnley is just not acceptable to have these type of managers like Scott Parker. It's not acceptable for you to be Premier League managers anymore. I don't understand how these type of managers still exist. He's proven time and time again he's not good enough. Every time you come into the Premier League, you go back down. You go back down. At least Daniel Farker's shut a few people up this season, because he's proven that he's actually he can handle the Premier League. He's done really quite exceptional with that Leeds team. But Scott Parker is just he's boring. He's so boring. Same thing every year. Like it's got to a point where you'd rather take a gamble on a younger manager, sack him or just bring in someone different for the last 10 games, because you're not going to get anything special out of Scott Parker. You're going to get average. I mean, that's what he is, an average manager at best.
No, definitely. It's strange, really, to think, Brentford only 2 or 3 points off their West London rivals, Chelsea, and one of the smallest stadiums in the Premier League, the G Community Stadium, could be playing in Europe, and one of the biggest stadiums, the Tottenham Hotspur, could be playing in the Championship. Unbelievable stuff, really. Back to Igor Thiago, though. Could this be the player that Brazil, are sort of looking for? And do you think he starts for Brazil in the World Cup? JP, starting with you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think his form is definitely showing that he's on the right path. I think it's quite clear Haaland is going to probably finish top scorer of the season, but Igor Thiago in second, that's huge. Not only for player, but only for Brentford as well. And Brazil will probably look at that and say that he's probably going to be their starting striker, because I'm struggling. I know Brazil have got Vinicius Junior, they've got Rodrigo, Esteval should probably be back by then, but they're all wingers. In terms of strikers, I mean, Gabriel Jesus maybe. I'm not sure if he's still starts.
If Jesus starts for Brazil, then I think the world is near end, because Gabi Jesus is far from it at the moment.
But I ask because this Igor Thiago seems like the player that Brazil are missing, and
Yeah, I mean, look, 100%. Because I mean, you've got Endrick at Lyon. He could be something, but he's still very young. You see, he's like barely 20 years old, I think, at the moment. So
he's doing well out there, though.
He's doing very well, but I would still say, this is Igor Thiago's World Cup. That this could be huge for him, and Carlo Ancelotti as well. It'll be his first World Cup as an international manager as a whole. So to have a striker in such good form can only be a good thing. I mean, we can only hope he doesn't get injured at some point in the season to rule him out for international duty, because that would really ruin Brazil's chances. But no, if everything goes to plan, then yeah, he'll definitely be starting for Brazil at the World Cup in the USA.
Before we wrap up today's show, guys, I want to try something different. We'll go round. Ty, starting with you. Do you have a player of the week in the Premier League?
Do I have a player of the week? You should have prepped me beforehand.
No, yeah. I thought I'd ask you off the bat. I thought I'd try something.
Do I have a player of the week? See, I haven't watched I don't often watch a lot of Premier League football.
Could be an Arsenal player, and I'm thinking of one.
See, I haven't really seen a lot of other games, so I would naturally be biased and say David Raya because of the fantastic forms he had. But I think, probably is David Raya. That would be my player of the week.
Reece, what about you? Do you have a player of the week?
Not any Spurs players, that's for sure.
The referee for the Fulham game?
Yeah, I mean, Fulham's ref was quite good, actually. I mean, if you're looking at, I'm a big fan of the high scoring games. One player's got a last minute winner and an early goal in that game. Damsgaard, it's a huge 3 points for Brentford. Listen, they're on a hunt for Europe, and you think, 5 years ago, if you told a Brentford fan you're going to be getting a big 3 points away at Burnley in 5 years and it's going to get you Europe, they laugh in your face. I think it's just a relegation battle in the Championship or something like that. They wouldn't even think of a Premier League win. But yeah, I'll go Damsgaard. I'm a big fan of him anyway. He's a great player, and 2 goals and an assist and a big 3 points and scoring right at the death. That's a star right there.
JP, what about you?
Well, I've had a bit of time to think, and I think Reece probably won't like this one, but I think my player of the week has got to be Alex Iwobi.
Yes.
I thought he played really well for Fulham in that match against Spurs, and he obviously scored a really brilliant goal himself. And honourable mentions, Damsgaard against Burnley, those 2 goals. David Raya, it's nearly every single week now. He pulls off really amazing saves. But I would actually like to say also, I was thinking of Jordan Pickford. I don't know if any of you
That's
guys
one
have
game
seen
we
his-
haven't mentioned.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
Everton
you
done
guys
really well.
have seen his save against in
Nuts
the
save.
Newcastle match.
Yeah.
It was probably the save of the season, I would say. So he would probably be my second pick. But yeah, Alex Iwobi is my player of the week.
Funny, I was going to mention Jareth Brathwaite potentially as a potential player of the week. Obviously, scoring in that 3-2 win, massive win for Everton, and what is a Newcastle team that is on a downhill slope.
Again, yeah.
Me and I've said, I think this has got to be the end of Eddie Howe sooner or later.
He'll go into the season.
Yeah,
Because he's clutching onto that Champions League at the moment. He's clutching onto that.
Yeah, I think once they're out of that, and it's just.
I think the cracks are there. The cracks are definitely there. Player of the week for me. I don't really know about this one. I've been thinking a bit, and it's boring, but I just think David Raya. I think in games like that, it's so important. It's so important you need a keeper to make saves like that in those moments to win titles. As a Liverpool fan, I've seen Alisson do it. So could I be seeing Raya do it to win a title for Arsenal? We'll only have to see. But thank you very much, gentlemen.
Also, Max,
Sorry.
what's happened to your boy Voltemada?
What do you mean? I know he's my boy, but he hasn't been playing well. He's on a bit of bad form.
I don't get. He's getting all the stick. Like I saw, Talk Sport said he was like the worst signing of the summer, and I'm just there like Alanga for Newcastle's been
he's a
way
good player.
worse.
I think he's a good player. I just think Newcastle. I just think they need a new manager. I think they're not playing the right system for the players they have. Me and Ty especially have been talking about it. They've got arguably one of the best midfields in the league, in Europe, and they can't seem to do anything with it. And
Newcastle side should be a lot higher than they are.
I think
definitely.
The problem is you'd assume the Saudi ownership. We see these rich owners; they're not very patient, and I think at the end of the season, I think it will be Eddie Howe's time to leave. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for today's show. We've had JP in a different seat today, the Chelsea fan. We've had Reece, the Tottenham fan, who cracks a little smile at the end. There wasn't much to smile about this weekend, unfortunately. And we have Ty for Arsenal. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and looking forward to seeing you again soon.